Hi, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Couples Quest.
There comes a time in every gamer's life when you look at your partner and go, wouldn't it be great if I could combine my love of gaming with my love of spending time with my significant other? And sure it would. We are two gamers who love to play games together, but neither of us loves being the background character. And sadly, when you play co-op, most of the time one of you are gonna have to be the background character. So therefore, our quest revolves around the idea and hope that somewhere out there are games that can support and satisfy two main characters.
Now we will take on any game that we can find that fulfills one simple requirement. It has to be playable by at least two people. But we would like your help in our task, so if you know a game that you'd like us to review, please leave a comment. I hope you'll enjoy this journey with us. And may we be successful in our task.
Hi! This time we are going to review the online game Star Wars: The Old Republic. Star Wars is a very famous concept, so I don't think we need to explain that much what it's about. But basically it's the fight between good and evil, as usually, and you get to pick if you want to be good or evil.
The story in Star Wars: The Old Republic takes place 4,000 years before the movies. So you won't be seeing any Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker or anything like that. It's way before the time. So Star Wars: The Old Republic is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, which usually is abbreviated to MMORPG. I'm gonna stick to that because the other one is a mouthful. For those of you that don't know, an MMORPG is a game which you only can play online, obviously, or via the internet. The game world itself is persisted on the servers, meaning that when you log off, people still do things change in the world, and no matter what you do, the game is pretty much always there.
The game will go on.
Exactly. Usually games like this are played in huge groups. When you just level up your character, you play with maybe up to 4 friends and do some instances, or in this case called flashpoints. And occasionally you go together with groups of many people, like up to 20, maybe 40, and do raids or some such. You have a character and you explore the galaxy of Star Wars. You talk to different people. These people give you story missions, different quests, and the basic gameplay is that of you running around and killing different animals or people all the time. That's basically all there is to it. You run into different areas, you kill a bunch of stuff. There's always a story reason for it, but when you look just exactly what you're doing, you're only running around and killing people, and that sort of gets very boring after a while. What got us playing this is the story. We really became interested in our characters. We invested time in them. We became sort of like friends with them. They were fun to play, and that's what really kept us playing this. We've played our main characters up to max level, and we also started 2 characters on the Imperial side, a bounty hunter, me, and
An Imperial agent.
Yes, pretty cool guys. But I don't think we're gonna play these guys until level 50 because the monotony of doing the basic gameplay, which is just running around and killing, it's just sort of a little bit boring. I mean, by now I feel the game, I've become bored of it. We've played though many hours. I don't know how many hours we would, but yeah, many.
What usually keeps you, exploring an entire planet is the fact that you have a story that evolves around this planet. You're either there to stop someone, or save someone, or find something forgotten, and you just sort of randomly goes like, well, these are people standing over there who needs my help, and I'm going into the dangerous cave anyway, so sure. Since we are still trying to play this as a couple aspect, we are only playing with the 2 of us and our very dear friend who we invited.
Who asked us to refer to him as Lilac Lord, which is his in-game nickname.
What's special and different with Star Wars compared to a lot of other MMO games is that there is a very much story focus in this game, which was extremely fun. It even had cutscenes, where you can see an animated movie about what happens when you enter a room or have a certain conversation with someone.
And that's a unique feature for a MMO. It's if this is not the only one, then it's at least very, very rare for MMOs to have this.
Do you dare approach the great Nil Venerus, Lord of the Sith, Master of the Undying Darkness?
I'm a servant of the Empire. I'm authorized to be here.
What? You're not afraid of me? You aren't a mindless puppet like the rest of them? I don't understand.
I still have my senses, but someone here is out of his.
You're right. I was out of my senses. But not anymore. I became the mighty Lord Venerus, and the others became my obedient followers and servants.
You seem normal enough now.
Yes, for some reason, the madness no longer has its hold on me. Like whatever's causing this dream is losing its power.
Your character has his own personal story. He has a voice. He can have conversations with other characters, conversations in which you get to pick what your character says.
But then again, it's not always what you pick that the character says, because the hint that what you're gonna say is basically a small, short version of a longer conversation, and it's sometimes it's really hard to know what those words mean. Something that you thought might be sarcastic turns out to be extremely sincere, and vice versa, which can make it a bit funny when you suddenly end up saying something that you were not expecting at all.
Apprentice, do you have the artifact yet?
You wouldn't want to spoil the surprise now, would you?
Oh, you're teasing me, Apprentice. Hurry back to Scotia's, my chambers. I have a surprise for you.
I love surprises.
Trust me, you'll love it. Now hurry back with the artifact. I can't wait.
But it's still fun. I mean, it's not like a single thing you say breaks anything.
No, it doesn't break. I mean, if you be honest about it, pretty much most of the conversation choices you make, what you say, don't really matter. You know, if somebody gets upset with you, it's only for the next thing they say, and the next choice you make will change the course of the conversation again. They might be nice to you again, or I hate you if you chose the nice things first. Yeah. The new free-to-play model, it's a little bit difficult, so if you're gonna play this, pay for it. It's just much more pleasant. Yeah, ups and downs, basically. Did we enjoy playing Star Wars?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Until we started not paying.
Yes, and also we got bored with the game, honestly, because we
Yes.
played maybe, 200 hours?
Well, we played enough to go from level 0 to level 50 characters, and
Once.
we still have level
20
characters right now,
Yeah.
or something thereabouts.
And we're not fast. We don't run through the game. We don't power level, as it's called. So we just really spend our time to enjoy. We did crafting as
We
well.
explore everything. I mean,
Yeah.
there are hidden treasures in these games that could actually help you level up some skills, but they are extremely annoying to get to because you're gonna fall and fall and fall.
Yeah, the datacrons, that was actually something I really enjoyed. There are hidden objects on the map which are extremely hard to find and even more hard to get to, but once you get to them you get some sort of reward. One thing that we did miss here is that you are playing the one single hero that is supposed to save the galaxy, but when you look around there's at least 15 dudes around you, exactly the same, doing exactly the same missions, and also on the quest to save the galaxy, which only they can perform. And that's very illusion breaking.
Yeah, but at least everyone disappears in your cutscenes.
Yes, there's areas which are your private areas, like story missions, story instances. You enter them, and nobody else is allowed to enter besides the people who you
Specifically invite, sort of.
Yes.
Groups.
Yes, exactly. And usually that means that if you're of a certain class, let's say I'm a Jedi Knight, that's my character class, I enter an instance which is just for Jedi Knights, and then no other Jedi Knights will be able to enter with me, because then his story gets messed up. There's some option to enable other Jedis to join you on that specific story element, but we never really bother with that.
No, we tried to play different characters because we thought that would be more fun, since then we would get at least 2 different stories that we could watch the entire play out with.
Well, what we really wish that they would have made here is the possibility for our characters to talk to each other. That only happened once, and that time was basically the best moment in gaming ever when my character directly referenced Emily's character in a conversation. That was really awesome. But that unfortunately only happened once.
Yeah, and it wasn't actually something that we got to choose. It just happened. It was already scripted into the game. So I'm sort of surprised that it wouldn't, keep that in somewhere else.
Yeah, I'd really love that. I wish there was more games where two characters, both played by a gamer, were able to talk to each other. To create a sort of a story, to establish relationships between them two.
Yeah, because in Star Wars, you can be in a group, but it's mostly like someone is just tagging along. And whenever Adam had his personal cutscene, I was, teleported away, sort of. I wasn't in it in the background even. His companion could be in the background, but I sort of stealthed out and didn't show up until a fighting scene started or something.
On the other hand, when we were doing normal missions outside of story instances, then each character got to say something. Like, for example, if we were in a conversation with a quest giver and there would be 3 times which some of us gets to pick an answer, then usually each of us would deliver one of the answers, so everybody would get a say in each conversation.
But that's also a little bit weird, because at least you and I, we try to sort of get a personality to our characters. And our level 50 guys, I'm playing a smuggler and you're playing a Jedi. A very goody two-shoot Jedi, while I wanted money for everything. So whenever we had the option of, getting paid for saving something or someone, you would go with the answer like...
It's both an honor and a privilege to serve.
Yeah, and I would choose the answer, well, if I get paid, I'll help you. Well, and the problem was that only one of us wins the roll, and I guess that sort of means that one of us is quicker than the other to respond, and the other one is just, silently accepting this answer. If it had been, like, for real, we would probably end up having an argument between each other, and that's sort of sad that you can't have that, because you really want to be able to have a relationship with the other character.
But that situation led to a very funny thing where Emily kept a little book she actually had in real life, where for each time I won a conversation where I specifically refused a monetary reward, she would make a little dot to note how many times I caused her to lose money.
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't do this at the start. I started pretty late with this, but in my little notebook I have 11 times when I actually get the money, and then there are 15 times when I don't get the money. So it's not that over-exaggerated if you actually look at it, but you constantly swindled me.
Oh, as you just yourself admitted, it wasn't that bad, so I don't have to feel guilty anymore. Excellent.
Fine.
The free version has disabled a lot of features, which are convenience-only features, but once you don't have them, you get really frustrated because they're really important. Like your respawn times are reduced, you can't wear certain gear, certain rewards, you can't take for completing a quest. You really get to say like, oh no, you need to pay to that. There's some cosmetic features that are enabled, and to be honest, we didn't enjoy playing the game without paying at all. It was constantly in your face, like they want us to pay, oh, you want this reward? No, pay. Oh, you want more money on your account? You need to pay. You want amount? Need to pay. Need to pay. Need to pay. Need to pay. Pay. It's really like constant nagging, and it took out the enjoyment of the game.
Yeah. But we would totally recommend you paying it. It's not that expensive, and it's a lot of fun.
Yes, so if you're a Star Wars fan, if you want to play this MMO with someone, your girlfriend or your friend, then you should definitely pay. I mean, the relief, the removing of all the annoyances is completely worth the $10, and it's a great game, which cost countless hours, for a team of how many hundreds of people to make, and they deserve some sort of recognition. So send them a couple of bucks, and I'm sure that more good games like this will be made. Massively multiplayer games are meant to be enjoyed in group. So this isn't really perfect for a couple. Would you agree? I mean...
Yes, I totally agree that this is not a perfect couple game, but it's possible, and if you really are into good stories, then I would recommend it.
Absolutely.
I would also totally recommend you, if you are that kind of person, to randomly ask in the general chat if someone wants to help you on a 4-group mission, because those are extremely hard to manage on your own. You'll just end up dying, and if you're not paying for the subscription, that's gonna eat your ass.
Yeah, if you want to, there's a lot of these instances, or what they're called flashpoints in this game, which are usually, they're not meant to be played by less than 4. So if you really want to experience the whole of the game, you should play with some friends. Maybe you have another couple, who also enjoy gaming, and you can play together. Now, in our case, we just invited a friend, and we're 3 people, and we're experienced gamers, so we sort of managed the 4 people instances with being only 3 and a companion. But it's not optimal.
We started playing Star Wars sort of like the second it got released, because...
No, literally. I had the pre-order and
we were very hot for this game, because...
Because of the conversations.
Yeah, because we knew that this was gonna be different, and we just experienced hilarious bugs.
Oh, right. We found, since the game, MMOs are always a little bit buggy when they're released. It takes a month or two to work out all the kinks. So we've been both collecting screenshots, hilarious bugs that we found in the game.
Some of our favorites are the Shrunken Jedi Master.
The Shrunken Jedi Master. The best part was when my character actually also noticed that he's looking down on it.
Something that, though, bothered me a bit when it came to these bugs was the fact that not much gear or actually outfits were designed for Twi'leks. They forgot about these lekkus that they are, attached to their head. And stuff like hats and helmets, those totally messed up. I'm a bit sad about that, because I think a lot of people place Twi'leks and they should have,
Twi'lek specific gear, so it really fits with your lekkus.
Yes.
So does this game work for a couple? In a way. We played this together with friends. It works especially well if you have a friend you want to play with, or if you have another couple you want to play with.
Yeah.
It's not meant for 2 people, but it's completely enjoyable by 2 people. And yeah, it does. It's not something...
The fewer people that plays with you, the more you get to see what your own personal story mission is going to be about.
That's true. But the fewer people that play, the less of the actual game you're going to get to see, because there's really areas where you need to be at least 4 or even more people.
Yeah. It worked for a couple, I would say that, but mostly probably because you and I are really in love with story. If you don't care about that stuff, I don't see why you would play this game.
I think it would be really horrible if you were, for example, into the story and really wanted to listen, and I didn't care about the story at all. I just wanted to get the awesome loot and level up really fast. Then we completely would not agree on this game.
Precisely.
And what makes this game special or different from other games? Actually, it's extremely standard MMO, besides one thing: the story, the conversations, the voice acting. Those 3 features make it almost completely unique.